Hey everybody, welcome to The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. I'm Sal.
I'm Ben.
I'm not Tiffany.
We're going to be talking about 3 titles united under a theme. They're all Batman crossovers. That's right, Batman intercompany crossovers. Batman and Danger Girl, which was at the time Wildstorm, but is of course now owned by DC. Batman the Spirit, and Batman the Maxx, who was an Image character, but at this time of the crossover was an IDW character because he's owned by Sam Keith. This episode is especially cool because we're doing it live here at Zap Comics. Everybody is here. Hey, make yourself heard. Say something. Woo! There we go. Yeah.
Proof that they are in fact there.
People are here.
Yeah,
we're
not just saying that.
Nope.
Yeah. That wouldn't even be possible.
No, I don't know anybody who would do that, least of all us. So
this is going to be like a minute and a half long fanfare of people cheering. We're going to
yeah,
be like, oh no,
please,
go
please,
on.
please.
No.
Yes.
We're going to cut to, like, outside shots of crowds.
Yeah.
Like the Oscars.
Yeah, standing room only. So we're going to be jumping into these. That's where we take 3 books, unite under a theme, and then talk about which one's the good, the bad, and the ugly after a quick recap session. We tell you what happens in the book.
The book opens up at a very fancy party in Gotham. It's the Gotham Historical Society. And, you know,
The fanciest of parties.
when a clown walks in and just puts his cigar out in one of their drinks.
What?
And there's like, oh,
So rude.
I can't believe you would do this.
I never.
And then they just straight up break into it. These other clowns come in, they beat these guys over the head with a baseball bat and a shotgun, and immediately Batman leaps out of the shadows and starts attacking.
Yeah, like he knew they were going to do that.
Right.
It's crazy.
Wait, he's Batman.
Yeah.
He is
Right?
Batman.
Yes.
He is
But-
Batman.
Or is he?
This is a Batman we've never seen before. This is a Batman who's making quips. He's grabbing drinks off of trays and drinking them and making jokes while fighting them.
This is a Batman that Tiffany thought Andy didn't know how to write Batman.
But it was like, wow,
totally know Batman.
It's Batman with personality.
by like
Yeah.
the second
That's a-
page of Batman, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what
No,
you're doing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
clearly...
Yeah, at
Yeah.
first it just feels like bad writing, and then it becomes
Yeah, at
bad.
first I was like, if this is your, like, your, like, demo for how you do Batman,
Yeah, you're fired.
no.
Once he takes the drink, I'm like, oh no.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's not Batman.
Trips on his own cape, hits his head on a statue, knocks himself out.
Yeah, he's out cold.
Yep.
He's like drooling.
Yes.
And
Again-
Harley Quinn
I'm worried he's
just
dead.
cartwheels in.
Right,
Because she
which-
wasn't in the fight.
That, like, image of her cartwheeling in, I was like, that's great. That's, like, a really good image. I mean, like,
Yep.
classic Harley, cartwheeling anywhere, it's fun.
Oh, I know,
Like,
but
she
the
would
panel
do- does
composition,
a really good job.
He's literally, like, you're part of the crowd
Yeah.
watching her do it.
Yeah, and it's classic Harley Quinn, the
Yeah.
Yeah.
cartoon version.
Which helps.
Yeah.
Right.
And, you know, she calls all the people from the Historical Society being like, hey, who wants the biggest scoop of the year? Let's see who Batman is. And she rips off his mask, and they take pictures of it. Who is Batman? Well, let's go back.
Let's find out. Yeah, how did we
Yay.
get here? 2 days ago.
Wow.
You got a fancy yacht.
2 days ago, we're already more interested. There's girls in bikinis.
Yeah, there's
Yep.
girls in bikinis.
That's
just
part and parcel to reading
hanging out.
Danger Girl.
Yeah, ladies in bikinis.
Yes.
By the way, if you're in the Gotham Harbor, surrounded by smog and industry, you don't lounge on your deck of
Yeah,
a
you're not
boat
in
a bikini.
You're not in the Caymans.
That is gross.
No, it's okay. She'll go for, like, a chemical peel.
You know,
later.
if I had a yacht, I think I'd lounge on it
Anywhere.
anywhere.
Especially
Yeah.
if you also like looked like them.
But I would...
You'd be like,
They're
why
in
not
Gotham.
feast
There's
your
more
eyes?
people to see them.
That's
so
true.
It's perfect time to be
They seem like
sunbathing.
exhibitionists anyway. So
It
yeah.
does look like one of them was swimming though, and that I think is probably a bad idea.
No, you know there's a pool.
Oh.
You know there's a
In
pool
the yacht.
on
On
the
the
yacht.
yacht.
They don't go in the water. That's the water for everybody.
Yeah,
They
We
go
have
in the
our own
water
water.
for them.
yeah. That's
Filled with
poisoned by the
Perrier.
Joker.
Yeah. No.
So they're getting a briefing about the bad guy, Donovan Conrad.
Who is a bad guy in the Danger Girl series?
He's got an eye patch, so you can tell he's a bad guy.
Uh-huh.
Big time.
Yeah, I gathered he was like their Joker.
There.
No.
Danger Girl doesn't exactly have like rogues,
Okay,
Well, except for this guy.
except for Donovan.
except for Donovan.
And his pirate affinity, love, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why he's the eye patch. It's...
and the peg leg.
Yeah, oh my god.
He does not have a peg leg.
No,
Yes,
he
he does.
does.
Does
it's
he?
not a peg leg.
He
He has
has
a
a big leg.
hydraulic leg.
I didn't even
He
notice
is
that.
basically a
That's
pirate.
amazing.
He
Yeah,
shows
he is
it's
a
a
pirate.
Joker.
He's a modern pirate.
Yeah,
He's Captain Hook.
He should just give in to it. Yes, he is.
he doesn't get the hook though.
Man, I really wish Killer Croc
well,
had done it instead.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know that was the
Anyway.
pitch. And they were like, no, it's got to be Joker because it's always Joker.
There's a guy with them, Johnny, and he is being benched right now.
Yeah, he's their butt monkey.
Yeah, because he did something bad, and I assume that came up in the previous issue
Right.
of Danger Girl. So as they're talking about meeting Batman and Sydney wanting to go out with him, we cut to underwater Batman is in a submarine listening to their conversation
With Alfred.
with Alfred. Yeah.
It's like, sir, I wish you wouldn't bring me along for these.
I told you.
Is it amazing he has a cup of tea?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because he's Alfred?
Yeah, he's British, so he must have tea,
That was
right?
We know that was Batman's tea, and he refuses to drink it. So Alfred's like, I'm not letting this go to waste.
There's no. Alfred was just like, he's like, come on, Alfred, hop in. He's like, well, I'm not, I'm just gonna.
Yeah. Pick me up.
Yeah.
Does
We're going
Batman
into
drink
the
tea?
canals?
Does Batman drink tea? Sometimes.
Okay. I don't recall seeing that.
I think he's more of a coffee drinker.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought.
I know he is, but
Yeah.
I think he will.
He drinks justice.
Yeah, liquid justice.
I got a flaming skull guy you might want to hang out with. he likes to say vengeance, maybe justice, vengeance. You guys could.
Where's
it out.
that? Where's the
Right?
Batman Ghost Rider crossover?
I think because Batman could probably do the pen and stare better than Ghost Rider.
Certainly
Hey.
better than Danny Cash.
Okay.
He wants to deal with Conrad himself, because
Yeah.
Gotham's his turf, and he doesn't have any respect for the Danger Girls. And Alfred suggests, well, maybe you can distract them. And Batman's like, I don't even want to meet them.
Famous fan dance.
Yeah.
And Alfred's like, I'm not talking about Batman. Talking
They're
about
sexy
Bruce-
ladies.
Yeah, Bruce
You're a
Wayne.
socialite.
Bruce
You're not
Wayne,
always
baby.
Batman.
Right.
Yeah. So, okay. So we're done with that scene. Cut to the Joker.
Yep.
Of
Who's
course.
the villain of the
Joker
book.
has to be the
Wait,
bad guy.
I thought you were talking. I thought Donovan Conrad was
Well,
the villain.
there's-
He is in
he's-
it.
He's
Well,
the
it's a
Danger Girl
crossover.
villain.
Yeah, so they
so
have
you
to
got
team
two
up.
heroes. and
What's
two
the
villains.
statement? But and again, by the way, it's an intercompany crossover. All three of them are. You got to check all the boxes. What is it? Your superheroes all both have to meet. They have to fight. The villains have to team up and get along better than the heroes do initially.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, the heroes do begrudgingly team up and defeat each other's villains. Usually they swap.
This
Yes.
one doesn't
Now-
hit all those marks, though.
Exactly.
Especially when it comes in terms of the villains.
Especially on that, because now you see, the Joker is here, and he got his hands on a device that Donovan is after, and it is a mind control device.
It's
Well,
a
hang on.
gun.
Donovan
It's
is a
mind
control
gun.
It's a little ray
Like
gun.
Flash Gordon would wield.
Yes.
So of course the Joker wants to test it out. He points it at his cronies, and he goes, "Hey, you! Shoot Lumpy. Shoot him right in the head." And the guy goes, "Oh, okay," and he shoots his friend in the head. And Joker's like, "Ah ha ha ha! It totally works." Wait a minute. I pay
work
your
for me.
salary. You would have done that anyway.
Yeah.
Shoot yourself in the head. And the guy goes, "It's asking a lot, boss." He's like, "This thing doesn't work," and he throws it away. One of the best scenes.
It was very funny. Yeah. I was like, okay, this book
Oh, you got
has
me.
some moments.
Yeah, that literally was one of the turning points for me
Yeah.
for this book.
So then Donovan shows up, and he's like, you found the device. I'd like to make a deal with you, because I want to, get in on this.
the
And
device doesn't work because you don't
doesn't
have
work.
the access code.
according to Donovan,
Right. And Donovan does have it.
he claims to have it.
Not on him, though.
Yes. And so he wants he wants to get $1 million, I
No,
guess.
he wants
No,
part
he's-
ownership.
he wants part
Joker
ownership, that's
automatically offers $1 million.
That's
He's
right.
like, that's usually the fee.
Right,
Yeah.
right. You want money, right?
Cool,
Like,
Mill.
I'll
I have a-
give you this, and then I'm going to kill you anyway.
Right.
That's,
And then I'll
We-
keep the money.
We get no explanation for where this thing came from.
Nope.
And I found that very confusing.
Well, it had to have come
that's
from
why
Danger Girl.
We're talking
I
about
guess,
the Gotham
yeah.
Historical Society. It's got to be, a historical
she
relic or
knew
something.
that it was stolen, so I get the feeling that it is from their half of the book.
Yeah, maybe the previous issue of Danger Girl, it came up and it was taken by a mysterious
Right. It
individual
could have
or
been. The
something.
thing is with intercompany crossovers is there's oftentimes very little continuity between issues, and often they never usually build up to it because it takes a lot of time to make these things happen.
Right.
So it's like usually. In fact, almost in every single case, the intercompany crossover takes place autonomously from either continuity.
Right, but they do mention that they thought they blew him up.
Yes.
So to me, that's like, well, maybe they are trying to.
Well, they
like,
probably
attach it
did,
to-
and then they were like, "Oh, I guess we can use Donovan and then kill
yeah,
him."
maybe
off
they
later
blew him
on.
up like 4 years ago.
Right,
In an
and-
issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Joker says, "Sure, no problem," which should have been the first clue that
Yeah.
this
That it's not
is
gonna go
going
well.
to be a big problem. And then he chops off Donovan's hand.
Yeah.
As he's shaking hands with
Yeah,
him.
he's like, "Let's shake on it."
Okay, never
Chop.
shake hands with the Joker.
No,
Ever. There's
Yeah,
either
be like,
going to
"Can
be...
we sign something,
like,
maybe?"
a little buzzer
between
that
bulletproof
electrocutes
glass.
you.
Yeah. So yeah, he chops off his hand,
Yep.
and he's like, "I'll give it back to you when you're done giving me the access codes."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Which
can
that
have your
sounds
hand back.
fair.
This is a great deal.
That's the plan.
That's the
Yeah.
plan. So instead of bleeding out, he acquiesces.
Yeah, well, he's like, oh, I guess I don't really have a choice.
No.
I need my hand.
And
Well,
don't
this is
worry.
the best part. It's just like, I cut off your hand. Now give me the access code. Now I was like, I don't have it on me.
Yeah.
I wasn't stupid enough
Which
to
I
bring
guess
it.
was his
But you
security,
were stupid enough
like,
to go there
mechanism.
alone.
Yeah,
And
and meet
shake
with the
hands
Joker.
with the Joker.
You didn't
Yeah.
you didn't do your work, man.
Yeah, like.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're worried about the hand, Harley has a box full of ice.
Yeah. And I
They
was.
keep
I
it
was
in.
like, well,
Well, it's
okay,
dead.
he's-
It's over.
They're not
You
going
lost
to
your
get
hand.
to attach it. But
No.
no, they've thought of that, I guess. Joker planned to cut his hand
This is
off.
always the plan.
Okay, if you already have a missing eye and a mechanical leg, what's a hand?
That's true. Is this?
Yeah, he could get a mechanical hand. It'll be fine.
I
A
wasn't
mechanical arm, maybe?
Yeah, oh, a whole arm? Yeah, so he's like, all right, I'll go get the code, and Harley Quinn and some henchmen go with
along.
him.
Yeah, make sure that he doesn't get double crossed.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, cut to Gotham. The Danger Girls are getting a car because they need to get around. And
I think they're just shopping.
I guess they're...
No, they need a car
They
to
do
drive
need a
around
do,
car.
Gotham.
but
Yeah.
like they indicate that they went to the shoe store prior to this.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So,
'Cause
like,
they're ladies.
I think they're just shopping, and she's like, "I'm going to make this big expense and say it's because we need a car."
Right.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like,
They do
sure, I'm
justify it.
justifying
Yeah.
it via this.
I think they wanted to get a car, but they don't need to get this car.
Oh, absolutely not.
It's like a...
I just find it
guess
hard
it's a
to believe
Mercedes.
that
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
$255,000 vehicle.
Right, but like you've
Yeah.
got a private yacht, and you're telling me that like you don't have a car waiting or
Right, there's
lined
no-
up, or
there's no
car in the
cool
yacht.
Von
or-
car
no,
in
of
the
course
yacht?
there's a car in the yacht, but that's my car. This is the car that I buy in town.
That's
and
the
then
yacht
trash.
car. This is the local car.
Oh, like
I don't
the,
drive my yacht car on land.
Yeah,
right,
that's
like,
for the
like
yacht.
the local guns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Continuity.
So
They could teach Bruce Wayne a thing or two about blowing money.
they're
What?
gonna buy this car.
Yeah, and they're going to expense it because it's like a legitimate business where they need to like do that.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Make sure you get your tax ID forms filled
Yeah.
out. And-
and the salesperson is like the worst sales guy on earth because he's like, young lady, are you lost? So immediately he's blown this sale if they
Right.
were actually interested in buying it.
Yeah.
Ethan, they're pretty ladies. They don't know the first thing about cars, obviously.
And they don't have any money because there's no man with them.
Well,
I mean, that's how they're treated.
it is, but
Yeah.
then he like recovers by saying that like basically he's trying to scare them off of it because
Yes,
It's
it's
already been
purchased.
purchased.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he can't sell it anyway. It's already been paid for
Mm-hmm.
to someone else. And then Bruce Wayne shows up. Basically, Bruce Wayne he comes in and he says that model is so passe, referring to her phone. And then he pulls out a new phone, prototype flip phone. That's much cooler
Yeah.
and
and much
newer.
smaller.
Yeah.
cementing this book in like
History?
a 5-year
Yeah, like
window of
2006
time.
maybe.
So
It's essentially Zoolander.
Bruce Wayne offers Abby the car on the condition that she goes with him to the Historical Society.
Oh, it's coming
gala.
around.
Oh, we're seeing how it's happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, no.
no, she's like, yeah,
Yeah,
Not
right.
initially. He's just like,
Yeah.
well, like, let's call it a date. And she's like, let's call it business.
Yeah. She's so
like, okay,
uninterested.
yeah.
Well, I feel
business.
like she's just because he says he'll give her the car right now for the day,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
And then they'll discuss the price. So I think she's just like, yeah, whatever, I'll go
I just need
because
the
like I
car.
need.
Yeah,
a
I'm just
car
gonna
right
bail
now.
on
Yeah.
you, moron.
I'm just gonna
Show up
steal
and
the
then I'll walk
car.
away.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal this car from you.
Meanwhile, Sydney's like, we can totally get the car if you let me buy all the stuff I wanted to buy at the shoe store.
Yes.
Yes. So
And Bruce
she's
is like,
walking in.
Right.
As Bruce Wayne opens the door for her, he notices her top. Just call back to earlier in the book.
Yep.
Oh, because yeah, she is like, what should I wear to meet Batman? And she mentions all these brands.
Yes, a Bruno Chrysler. Can I wear your Bruno Chrysler top? And
Yeah, and
Abby's
Abby's like,
I don't
he's
think
not
Bruce
gonna
Wayne's
notice.
not gonna know this.
No, Batman.
Batman won't notice
Batman
it.
won't
Batman.
But
notice.
Bruce
That's
Wayne
right.
does notice it.
Bruce Wayne notices.
Because
oh,
well, he
nice
heard
top.
it. He was
Yeah,
listening in.
right.
So,
Oh, that's right.
So Bruce
I
made sure
forgot
to
that,
hit
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
all the
like,
notes.
this girl really cares about brands,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm gonna remember it and call it back and maybe get a little action out of
And
it.
it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally works.
And
I
so,
appreciate that, by the way. I think this is like
Yeah.
the book. I was like,
It's
oh man, I'm kind of
clever.
enjoying
Yeah,
this.
it's not bad.
But this is Danger Girl.
but it's
And
Batman.
Batman.
But it's Batman.
But it's Batman.
And
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, the common through line with all of the intercompany crossovers with Batman is they're not breaking any new ground with Batman. It's Batman, maybe Gordon, Alfred, Batcave, Bat Gadgets, Joker possibly, but like that's it. They're not gonna like plumb the depths of Bruce Wayne's character. He's the foil. The real action is with the other character who's set against Batman. But with this, we actually get like character with Batman.
Yeah,
You're
it's like a real Batman book.
yes. Well, and what's ironic is Wildstorm will be acquired by DC, so technically it's in continuity until New 52 ruins it. But you know,
Don't talk about that.
so I guess Batman sleeps with the Danger Girls.
No, he doesn't.
No,
Oh, he totally
no,
does.
he seals the deal when the universes merge. Off panel.
I mean, maybe one at a time.
Oh, but why?
I mean, definitely Sydney.
Oh.
Abby seems not interested.
Yeah.
We go to Donovan in alleyways with Harley Quinn and the gang, and he's
Going
like,
after the code.
this
Yep.
would go a lot faster if we didn't have to cut through all these stupid back alleys. And she's like, this is how it works
Right,
in Gotham.
because Batman's around every
lives
corner.
here.
Yeah, if
And
we just
then-
walk on the street,
Yeah,
it's like popping up the bat
to prove that she's actually wrong because it doesn't matter. Batman shows up anyway, so
Yeah.
the alleyway thing didn't actually help. In fact,
I
it probably
knew
just
you would
gave
take
him
the
more
alleys.
time to find them.
Right. Well, so the goons attack Batman, but what they discover is that it's not Batman at all.
It's
Batman was just in the alleyway, and they go after him, and it's a freaking prop.
It's an inflatable dummy.
Yes, full of nerve gas.
Yeah, which Batman pops.
Yeah.
With a pellet gun.
Which is cool. Has he ever done that? Is
No.
that a Batman move?
What?
Haha,
does
you're
it here.
paralyzed.
Well, no. It's like that's how he
Oh no,
takes
the
out.
party balloon you got!
Yeah.
I didn't kill you. You're welcome.
But also, like that's how he takes out the bulk of the guys. That
Yeah.
way, he can actually have a more hand-to-hand combat situation.
Yes.
With, like Harley or whatever.
Right, except she runs away.
Right.
Yeah, Harley's like, no, this is my chance to get out of here. The goons will take care of the rest. I gotta protect Donovan.
The goons will take care of distracting Batman so I
Yeah.
can run away.
Bingo. Why do you think they came?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there is a hidden figure, like underneath piles of trash, observing everything that's going on.
Look
and
at like
watching Batman's
Splinter Cell
moves.
and
Yeah,
crap.
he's got night vision goggles.
I remember being like, "What? You're going to introduce a secret guy?"
Oh,
Yeah.
so you say you didn't know who it was instantaneously?
Not immediately.
I didn't
Oh, I was
either.
like,
So I was
Yep,
like,
yep.
okay, what wild is Grifter gonna show up?
Nope.
Like, what's going on here? And then I'm like, oh right, derp.
Yeah. So then we cut to Abby and Sydney. They're in Joker's lair somehow.
They found it.
A giant toy house.
That's how they're really good at it.
Yeah.
They're really good at their job. They found
They're
the
like,
Joker's lair.
Is there a toy factory here? I'm going there.
Right? Is it a candy factory or a toy factory or an
Or a
abandoned
circus.
carnival
Or
or
It's all of
circus?
the above.
The Joker has deeds on all of them.
Yeah.
It's a generic, scary carnival place.
Full
There's
of,
clown
like-
stuff
yeah,
everywhere.
clown stuff. It's the kind of place the Joker would live, I guess.
Crap.
And the only explanation for how they find it is Abby saying, "So Sydney, still doubt my secret hideout finding skills?" So she's just good
Really
at
good
it.
at finding hideouts.
She just looked and then
Listen,
she found it.
We didn't have enough pages for them to actually find it.
I kind of
Right.
So they
appreciate
found it.
because that line is
Yeah.
a way of saying like we don't you
Who
don't
cares?
you don't care and neither do I.
We
Moving on.
secret agented ourselves here.
Yeah. But
Right?
then doesn't that imply like they're better at finding the Joker than Batman is?
Absolutely.
Batman
Isn't that
doesn't
weird?
find
Very
the Joker.
weird.
Yeah, he just
He's
waits
not
for
looking.
the Joker to kill people
You know why
and
he
then
doesn't
shows
find the
up.
Joker? Because he's not looking for him. If he was, he'd definitely be there. And he would have
really-
been there 5 minutes
I
early.
really feel that should be like Batman's 24-hour, 7 days a week job.
Right.
It's
Well,
be
it's
knowing
finding
where
the-
the Joker is.
Yeah.
I know where the Joker is.
Okay.
But most of the time, he's just hanging out, and I'm dealing with other villains.
Yes.
And then when he pops up on my radar doing something, that's when I have to
But
defeat
like,
him.
wouldn't you rather avoid the pop-up?
At that point, he just kill the Joker,
Yes.
right?
So they find a bomb, and then Joker reveals himself, and he basically says like he'll blow up the bomb,
Yep.
so they can't like kill him.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
But
a
they can't
massive
move
bomb.
him.
There's a huge present
giant
he is
present.
standing on.
And it's on
and
a
it's all TNT.
yeah.
Supposedly,
It's
Well,
dynamite.
yeah. So there's a big fight. The
Yeah.
goons come and fight them hand to hand.
Yep. And
Instead
Abby
of
and
just
Sydney
shooting
are
them for some
kicking
reason. Yeah. So this is where you get to see they're really good at fighting, which I wasn't sure of until this moment. I'm like, so what do they do?
So what do they do besides looking pretty and
Yeah,
say
no,
hilarious things?
They kick and stuff.
Yeah, they're cool.
That's
Even
their
though they
whole
have
book, apparently.
guns,
Though
they
they-
don't use them. I guess they didn't bring them.
Well, and also it's a Batman book.
Yeah, I don't
They
know.
had
But we
guns.
saw a scene where they're going through a chunk filled with guns.
Yeah.
Why don't they use their guns?
Well, they use that for Donovan.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't pull out a gun out of the Joker, you don't know what's going to
Yeah,
happen.
that's-
Maybe they
well,
were
that's also-
afraid of hitting the bomb accidentally,
I
and
guess
so they
that's
didn't want
it.
to use them,
Yeah.
and so...
Sure. So then the Joker blasts off after they beat all his goons on
Blasting off
on a
again?
flat piece of the top of the present. It's
Yeah.
really unclear how. I guess it's a spring-loaded magnet. I don't know.
Of course it is. It's the Joker.
Well,
There's
it should be
springs
spring-loaded, but
involved.
there's
Yeah.
also
Jack
like
in
a
the Box.
smoke trail
The
behind
smoke
it.
trail, as if there's a rocket on the bottom of it, but it's just flat.
Yeah.
It's not coming from anywhere. It doesn't make any sense.
That's a thing in the
Eh,
DC
don't worry
universe.
about it. So then you see the bomb is a gigantic, like you said, it's like TNT with a huge clock face on the front of it, like the size of a person.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just like clutch each other. It's like, this is it. We're dead.
Yep.
We're gonna
And the-
die in this Batman
We're gonna die in
crossover.
this stupid
Oh, no!
bug.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. And then it blows up, and of course it's confetti. It
Right.
wasn't a real bomb
It's
for
not
some
natural.
It's a
reason.
joke. Lol.
Why wasn't it just a real
because
bomb?
Joker has plans. Remember, he doesn't want to kill them just now. Remember,
Right.
he's part of. He's playing a bigger game than the other guy.
Sure.
And now the secret Splinter Cell soldier also pops down and is watching this happen.
He's watching the Joker escape.
Yes.
He cased the joint too. Everyone
Mm-hmm.
can find the Joker except for Batman.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then you've got Donovan and Harley Quinn going back to their hideout, essentially like trying to get the code. He's like, "Look, I have to go to the bank. I have to withdraw it. We're fine. I have the stuff. We can meet up now." And then, essentially, Donovan gets a call on his phone, but he's got a gun pointed at Harley Quinn to keep her at bay.
So he can't answer.
So he can't answer his phone. 'Cause He's got no hands. So he's like,
Could you get that?
do you wanna just come on, just grab it. So she holds it up and he's like, yeah, okay, I can make the exchange. We'll meet here. That's fine. And then Harley was like, that wasn't the Joker.
Right.
This is a prank call. And he's like, okay, I get it. Everything's a joke to you people. But like, I'm missing a hand and I really want it back, so we're just gonna go through with this. Shut up. Shut up. There are so many cutscenes in
I
this
know,
book.
it's just boom, boom, boom.
Yep. No
boom.
time. Yeah.
Now we're here.
It's a
now
James
we're
Bond
there.
movie.
Yeah.
I
It-
guess.
It moves at breakneck pace.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now we're on the top of the GCPD.
Yes.
Because the bat signal
the
got
bat,
tripped.
that bat signal's on, but oh, it wasn't
wasn't
Gordon.
Gordon.
It was Abby. Abby called Batman.
Yeah.
And they're having a parlay on the roof.
Yeah, this is the tete-a-tete.
Yes,
Yes.
this is where they fight.
Yeah. This is the part where the heroes fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they're meeting for the first time.
Right.
Yes. And she's trying to tell him what's going on.
Yep.
And he's like, I'm not gonna work with you. I
He's-
work alone.
He's the foil. He's like, I don't do crossovers, even though I'm in every single one of them.
Yeah. He refers to her as an amateur sleuth. She puts her hand on him. He
Big
says,
mistake.
"Don't do
Don't
that."
do that. Big mistake.
She winds up, and he just knocks her over. She crashes through some pigeons.
Yep.
Pigeons
Sydney
are
comes
really
out. Sydney
like,
comes
no,
out.
look at the pigeons.
Yeah,
Look
she
at the-
falls into the pigeons. She has like feathers in her mouth.
There's a
She's got to go to the
pigeon on
doctor
her.
now.
It's hilarious. Sydney
has
comes up with her
diseases.
whip. She whips him up.
Sydney's got a whole shtick with whips.
Yeah.
As if it wasn't sexy enough.
Right. And then
Another whip.
whip comes out, and it's Catwoman.
Because you got
Catwoman's in the book.
because Catwoman, it looks exactly like Sydney, but
Right.
she wears a mask.
Yeah. So each one
Alfred?
gets the upper hand in their own way. Batman gets Abby tied up, and Sydney gets the drop on.
Like every
Catwoman.
Fast and the Furious sequel, everyone gets an equally proportionate amount of awesome, so that
Yes.
everyone can like unilaterally calculate how cool they are on an equal.
Yeah, no one can just
playing
be
field.
better.
No, everyone
It's
is equally
completely
awesome.
even.
Yes,
All our metaphorical dicks are the same size.
precisely.
Even Batman.
Especially bad.
So, despite his best efforts, Batman has found out what's happening from the side conversations they're
He's
having.
trying to stay out of it, essentially.
Yeah. He explains that Joker has the thing.
Yep.
Donovan has the code. We can't let him.
Team up and
team
put
up
together,
and,
or they'll make me drop my pants in public. Like we better stop them.
Well, because
So,
Abby wants to team up, Batman's like, no.
no,
No.
I'm still not teaming
See,
up.
I just
Don't team up.
understand
Despite
why
this fight we had, I'm still not
I
teaming up.
told
with
you
Yes.
no. I am Batman.
Yep.
Okay.
So he bails.
So he leaves, and they leave. And they're like, God, that guy sucks. And they just jumped off the edge. That's
right? They
crazy.
just. What is up with people in animal costumes?
Jumping off this place. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So we cut back to the base for the Danger Girls, where you got Valerie and you got Johnny. And Valerie's like, I can't believe you talk me into this every time. Johnny's like, what? Come on. This is a great plan. And he starts, like, taking off his clothes, and she's shying away as she's embarrassed. And this is when we see that Johnny has been scoping out Batman so that he can imitate the suit, so that he can pretend to be Batman at the historical party.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't really understand his
Why?
motivation.
I think he thinks it's just really rad. I think
like-
he's like, that'd be
I
kind of
don't.
fun.
I'm really not
Maybe
convinced
he
of that.
heard the Danger Girls talking about, well, the one, Sydney talking about how
how-
hot Batman was. He was like, oh, well, I could
and,
I put on
and
a
he
Batman
does
suit.
want her.
And really, he's like mad about being benched.
That's exactly
So
right.
he's like, I'm not benched. I'm so not benched, I'm going to pretend to be somebody else and punch the Joker in
would
the
be
face.
How
the
does
impetus
that
behind the
prove
crossover.
Yeah, that doesn't.
That you are bad.
That you shouldn't be benched.
Yeah,
It's like,
you're just making the
Oh,
point,
Batman
but-
saved the day. No, it was me. What are you talking about? It was Batman.
Yeah.
Did
Not only
you see
that,
him in his suit?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean, the reality is he puts on the Batman costume so that you can have the confusion at the beginning
Yes,
of the book
exactly.
where
The
it's like
only
this
reason.
crazy
Yep.
Batman who's quipping and, whoa, what's happening?
Yeah, so you can be confused and see something you've never seen before.
Yes.
Which I guess, look, this ain't Shakespeare, it's a Danger Girl crossover, so
Yeah, fine.
I get it.
Yeah. We saw Batman get unmasked. That can't happen.
What?
Don't worry.
Yeah, well, now,
Even though it's a
kinda know
crossover,
now
so who
what's gonna
cares?
happen. Yeah.
exactly.
So then we cut to the Gotham freeway at 140 miles per hour. They're driving the fancy car from before, the
Yeah.
girls are. And they're talking, she calls Bruce, hey Bruce, I'm on my way.
Yeah, because they realize that the whole thing's going to
No,
go down.
Johnny tells them
Yeah.
because he wants them to be there when he shows up as Batman. I
Right.
guess. So
Yeah.
he tells them where to go because he's like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
found out where the bad guys are going to be."
Yeah.
Yeah.
By
Orchestrating it.
yes.
Yeah. And
call.
this is a pretty awesome version of the Batmobile, in case you were wondering.
And you guys
not
can't.
what? You can't see it, but it looks pretty cool. So that
Trust me,
scene's
it's pretty
legitimately fun.
So the Joker shows up.
Yep.
Donovan shows up.
Yeah, he gets
Everyone's
the
at
drop
the
on the
party.
Joker. Oh no, I'm sorry. Donovan gets the drop on the Joker with a gun. The gun
Yep.
he was holding up Harley
Harley
Quinn with.
before.
And he's like, "No clowning around. Give me my hand first.
It's the most important thing.
You have a piece
How are you
going
going to take it?
Exactly.
Put it in
Also,
my
like, do you
mouth.
have a
I'll hold it by the
doctor?
pinky.
What-
Yeah.
Oh.
You don't even have, like, guys.
Yeah, you brought no guys.
Yeah.
You need at least 3 guys.
Yeah. So then Batman springs into action.
Yeah.
Or so we think.
Right.
Batman
shows
comes up behind Abby and Sydney, slaps them on the ass, and says, "Watch me go to work."
But and would have been a much
Oh, this
more...
is Batman.
That,
Oh, I
yeah.
believe
that would have
this
been a
is
way
Batman.
more
Batman.
powerful moment if it was at the beginning of the book we didn't know it wasn't Batman.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yes.
what?
Yeah.
As it stands,
too
still
bad.
it's still a pretty good scene.
It's
I mean,
still
it's like
fun.
it's inappropriate, but it's also kind of funny because he knows them, and you know,
Yeah.
they have a different boundary set of
By the way, how do they not know it's him if you
They should
recognize
immediately
him in
know who
the
he
voice?
is. When you put the
maybe
mask
he's
on,
got a thing?
Yeah, like Ben Affleck Batman. It's like
Oh, yeah, he's just, yeah.
Oh, he's got throat cancer.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so Batman starts fighting the goons. Joker and Donovan are like looking from behind a curtain, like, "Okay, Donovan, you got to give me the code." Like,
Yeah,
Batman's
give me the
here.
code. I'll give you the
Our
hand. No,
only
you give
hope
me
is
the hand. I'll give you the code.
And Donovan's like, "Yeah, you're right. I think I will just give you the code." and then
He's a
the
good
girls
deal
drop in
maker.
on him and start punching him.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what we saw at the beginning of the book happens.
Yeah.
Johnny's
Yep,
revealed as
Johnny's
Batman.
revealed.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I did not see this coming. They
Yeah.
mean that's not Batman?
What?
I totally thought Batman tripped on his cape and knocked himself out.
Yeah.
And was quippy.
Yeah.
As is the case with normal Batman books. Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what it was? Is that Batman's a lightweight. He never actually drinks. So once he grabbed the thing,
He was
off
like
of the
Doc
tray,
Brown.
he's like,
Yeah.
"Woo, funk."
What was
Yeah.
that? That was like the lightest version of champagne.
Oh, it went straight to my head.
How many did you have? Just the one.
Just the one.
Batman.
So then Joker uses a buzzer gag to get away from Abby, who's had
No,
gotten the
he
drop
like
on him.
electrocutes her.
Yeah, it's
not a gag.
It's a
There's
buzzer.
nothing-
It's the
it's a
buzzer thing.
gag.
It does the buzzer thing.
It's ratcheted to 11, but it's still the same principle.
I mean, you see her skeleton,
Right.
Right.
So I guess it's pretty
You
strong.
can see Vader's skeleton, and he still made it a couple of feet.
True. She should be dead, but she's not. And then Joker's about to kill Johnny
Batman.
with a gun.
Yeah.
And then like 30
Oh, 'cause-
friggin' batarangs.
Because
hit him in
Joker
the
thinks
hand.
that's Batman.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
like,
Joker's like, oh, no,
I
yeah,
got
that's
him.
obviously Batman.
All right, yeah.
Right.
He was so easily defeated.
You guys keep going. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick.
So Batman punches the Joker, and you
Yeah.
know that's. I mean,
oh, so the fight breaks out.
yeah, it's a fight. They have a big melee.
But we haven't emasculated Donovan enough, right? He has his hand chopped off, he lost his leg, his eye, and then he gets like bataranged in the head, and his toupee
comes off, so his hair is not. He doesn't even have hair.
Nope.
Yeah, it's amazing. And of course, there's the code is on like a thing.
Yeah, it's Temple of
and it
Doom.
gets kicked away, and they
It's the antidote. They're all trying to get
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Abby gets the gun,
She shoots like Harley and like
and Harley.
the clowns.
Yes, all
and
the
it's like,
clowns. All
Yeah.
the
Tells them they're all sad now.
Yes, and then she shoots the Joker, and makes him punch himself in the face.
Which, to be honest, he would do anyway.
And then she says, "Why are you hitting yourself?"
And then makes Batman laugh.
No, she doesn't say that.
No.
Yeah, Batman smiles a little bit. She goes, "Batman, is that a smile?"
He's like,
I
shut up!
see a
No.
smile."
Yeah, it's me.
And
That's what it's like.
yeah. And then the book ends. I mean, then they win.
They win, and everyone goes home to their respective publishers.
Yeah.
Bye.
And
But the girls have a renewed respect for Batman.
I guess.
And I guess for the
No.
umpteenth time, Batman learns that he should work well with others.
Right.
It's like I love the intercompany crossovers, by the way, with Batman, where he's like, I don't work with people. Never mind the 18 people in the Bat family that I work with on a regular basis. I couldn't possibly fathom working with two capable super spy ladies.
Maybe that's like a cry for help where he's like, no, I do work with him. I hate it.
Yeah, I have
sorry.
like 12 Robins, and they all need to go home.
Are you any kind of bird-themed bat animal thing?
Right.
No?
Then
Then
get
I
out.
don't work with you.
Yeah.
What about the turtles?
They're animal-themed.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he didn't
And
like working with them at first.
Not at first.
He put up the least amount of fight with the
He did.
turtles.
I guess because they're animals.
No, he wanted to get them the hell out of his universe.
Oh, maybe it's because they're teenagers.
I think it's because they're teenagers, and he's like, "Oh, they're kids. I can use them."
Well, they're bright green. They'll
He's
make
like, hey, did
excellent
your
targets.
parents die?
No, our father's right here. Okay, I can work with that. So
It's because he has respect for Splinter.
yeah, he does. He likes those turtles. I think they remind him of the teenage years he never had. That's Ninja Turtles though. It's not
we're
even
not
in
talking
here.
about Ninja Turtles.
We did 2 full episodes of back issues on those 2 crossovers.
We did.
And a third is on the horizon. They did a third one.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. It's the most ridiculous. Anyway, so Batman.
So yeah,
Danger
That was
Girl.
Batman Danger Girl.
Woof. Batman the Maxx by Sam Keith. Arkham Dreams. It's very recent. It came out a year ago.
Sauce falling on a sword.
There are 3 out of 4 issues of this series, and then for no reason, the 4th one just won't come out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just
Oh, I didn't
it's
know
just
that.
stuck in
That's-
limbo.
Maybe he's in a contest with Jeff Johns.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I heard the Doomsday Clock's taking forever. You haven't seen forever until you've seen Batman the Maxx. I mean, that being
stuck in
Maybe
the,
whoever finishes
Outback.
first loses a bet.
right.
Yeah,
The reality
a gentleman's
is,
bet.
Batman the Maxx is written and drawn by Sam Keith, and so you know exactly what this is going to be, and so you really don't need a 4th issue. Like, it never nearly needs to end. No one's clamoring for the end of this miniseries because you know how it's going to wrap up. I mean, you know how all of them are going to wrap up, but this one is particularly uninspired. Anyway, so this is also weird because, of course, if you're not familiar with the Maxx, watch our episode of Back Issues on it. But the Maxx is a character that, like, supposedly lives between 2 worlds, but it hasn't been that way for a long time. And Sam Keith completely ended the Maxx saga. And then they announced they were doing a Batman the Maxx book a year ago, and I'm like, yeah! What? How does that work? How could it work? So then you read it, and you're like, oh, he threw it away. So he's just like, okay, let's just take everything that was the Maxx that you remember, and I'll just do that. And I'll vaguely refer to the ending of the Maxx, just say like, yeah, well, but that was uninteresting, so he's the Maxx again. Like,
Oh.
like Maxx stopped being Maxx.
It's not like a what if kind of thing. Like what if
Or it happened in
Max
the movie.
occurred in
Well, the whole
Arkham
book is a
universe?
what if.
The whole
right?
book is a what- the
All
whole
the
thing
Max
is-
like, is it real?
Yeah,
is
it,
it a dream?
it,
world?
it
Like,
feels like that, but it also definitely takes place after everything because
But
they
there's-
refer to things that have happened.
There's
Yeah.
actual stuff that has consequences in the Max.
right.
yeah, but
So-
we're back to status quo.
But
Max.
the reality is, Sam
this
Keith
book.
doesn't think anyone's ever read the Maxx. So he's like, if
Right.
you're familiar with the Maxx at all, you watched that cartoon show from 25 years ago.
and
so
this will fit seamlessly with that.
you're good. You know, it introduces you to the Maxx and his world, the Outback, but it's like, it's different, it's changed. And yeah, and Max is causing a problem. He's yelling about the Outback, and he just seems like a lunatic in a superhero costume wearing homeless people clothes.
Yeah.
With a giant jaw of teeth.
Well, that's what the Maxx looks like. I mean,
Yeah.
he looks like the Maxx in homeless attire.
Exactly.
So Max is screaming and yelling. I guess they called the authorities, and Batman intercepts the police, and he's like, hey, whoa, knock it off. What are you doing? And Max is like, whoa, am I freaking out again? I'm sorry. And Batman's like, right on. Okay, I think I know where you belong. So Batman drops him off in Arkham,
Does
which
Batman? This is a question.
He's
I
never
have
met
about
the Maxx before.
He doesn't acknowledge that he looks friggin' weird. So I'm wondering, like, does he see him as just a normal looking guy,
Right.
or he's just being polite and not?
he's being
mentioning-
polite.
Okay.
Batman,
see-
he sees the Maxx. He's like, you look like any number of characters that I interact with on a regular
Right.
basis.
It's not that
That's
surprising.
why I'm here.
Yeah.
In this shot, when Max is on the table, you see the bottom of his jaw. It's
I
a
know.
regular human jaw.
I know that drives me crazy, and that's just
Yeah,
that's
I
just
didn't
Sam
understand
playing
that.
around with art.
Expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
because
no,
like
in this world, it really is just a mask.
well, no, because okay, like when Max started out, he looked like a superhero because we needed to sell books, and in fact, Max #1 and 2 sold like better than the highest selling comic book of the last 5 years. As Keith got more creative freedom and more detached from his interest in making money, the Maxx became more of a joke, and he became more silly, and eventually Max gives up being Max, and then he has to become Max again in the narrative. But when he does, the suit doesn't really react the same way, so it looks like an idiot in a costume as opposed to a cool looking superhero.
Okay.
So really, the only time you're ever going to see Max look cool is when he's in the Outback, because it's of course not even the real world.
Right.
Or is it? No. So Batman interacts with this guy named Dr. Disparu, who's a new character that Sam Kiss created, who's part of the Arkham thing, but Batman has no questions for why he's here or what he's doing.
Yeah.
But Disparu's like, oh, well, no problem. The idea here is that Dr. Disparu is an evil foil who is aware of the Maxx and is tethered to the Outback, and he wants to use Maxx as a conduit to access the Outback and use it for his own nefarious schemes. But Batman's a rube and doesn't know that, so he willingly allows Disparu to strap this human being to a science fiction-y, Frankensteinian slab
Yep.
and plug electrodes into his brain.
As if Batman had never dealt with anyone in Arkham before.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Like, yeah, this
uh,
is totally normal. This happens here all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that happens. They throw the switch. Now Batman and the Maxx are suddenly in the Outback.
Yeah.
And Batman has the most personality in this crossover because he's like totally in stride. He's like, okay, so where are we? What's going on? What do you? So you're
Yeah.
and he, like
He keeps us cool.
he keeps us cool.
Because he's been through all
lot.
kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he's had, like, Scarecrow put him in, like, dreams
Exactly.
and stuff.
Because he's
so-
like, okay.
Yeah.
Darkseid shot him with the Omega Sanction. And he
Right.
lived
Yeah.
1,000 lifetimes. Like this is
Yeah.
a cakewalk. I'll be out of here, but in time for lunch.
But this is weird.
I won't
because
eat. Yeah.
Batman is not strapped to the table. It's only the Maxx.
Exactly.
And yet, only Batman and Max are here. no one else from Arkham.
Maybe Batman's not really
Because-
here.
because the camaraderie between Disparu and Batman is a fiction in and of itself. It's like Inception,
Yeah.
where it's like there's dreams upon dreams. The interaction that Batman has with the Maxx that allows Max to go to Arkham under legitimate means is in and of itself a dream. And in fact, Disparu has been using Max and Batman, and he's messing with both their minds. You don't know this until later, but
Right.
the reality
That
is
explains
you're
how
supposed
we
to
get
feel
here.
like you're reading a dream when you're reading this issue,
Right.
because Batman and Max like just kind of flash back and forth between reality and the Outback. But Max gives Batman kind of a crash course on what the Outback's supposed to be.
Batman / the Reader.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
Which is pretty
Sam
good.
Keith
It
immediately
works.
assumes you've never read the Maxx before, forgivably so. And Batman is just kind of like, so, okay, I'm with you. This is very bizarre. What do we do? And then Max realizes that he's near what would be the Jungle Queen, who is, of course, his reason for existing. Max thinks it's Julie, but it's not. And it's actually the Purple Queen, which is a thing that they've invented for this book.
Is it Selena Kyle?
I don't know who it is because the book isn't over.
See, I assumed like she's wearing leopard print. It's probably Catwoman. She's a brunette.
That would make
No,
sense, but like
it's just-
Catwoman's also never like she's not in the book.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
It's leopard print because Julie Winters was wearing
It's the
that
Huntress,
before.
which is why nobody recognizes her.
That's why
because
she's
Batman
purple.
doesn't acknowledge her.
That'd be amazing if it was Huntress. Anyway, so Max tries to talk to the Purple Queen, and she gives them a bunch of vague nonsense, and then Batman like immediately he blinks, and now he's back in Arkham, and they're going to experiment on inmates of Arkham using Dr. Disparu's method, which seemingly is nothing more than strapping human beings to slabs and plugging things into their brains.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Science!
So their first victim or test subject is the Penguin, who's willing to do it because they're also going to knock off a couple of years from his sentence.
Yeah.
So they
But
strap.
knocking off a couple years of like a 300-year sentence. isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's not even a sentence. It's a mental institution.
Yeah, you can't knock years off someone's...
off of care.
Yeah. He's insane or he's not.
Right.
That's the perfect disguise.
So anyway, they strap Penguin to the thing. Max is still on another slab. Then they blink. Batman and Max are back in the Outback. But you have to understand also with Max, whenever he like flashes back, he loses part of his memories and he gets more discombobulated. And also he's a dummy. So it's like there's a lot of different factors going into Max.
Yeah,
but
it's like Quantum Leap. He's got the Swiss cheese brain.
that's right.
Yeah.
I really was going to use that term, but I wasn't sure if I was going to lose everybody by using Quantum Leap.
Yeah, it's like I don't
terms.
care.
So Max immediately is like, "Who are you?" And Batman's like, "Max, it's me, Batman. We literally just had this conversation like 10 minutes ago." And then there's no time for them to have their cliche fight because there's a deadly poisonous air blowfish on the horizon that's coming to get them, and it's just a big stupid blowfish that like has big poisonous spikes shooting out of it
And arms.
tendrils
Tentacles.
who grab them and then proceed to try to eat them.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun. That's the book. And so I remember when we read this is like, well, I mean, like, this is only a year ago. So when we were reviewing this book, I remember being like, if you like the Max, you might like this. But otherwise,
It's
probably not
just the
for
Max
you.
with Batman in it.
yes. And like, but what's funny is this could be an opportunity for Keith to really like take the wind out of Batman. You know, be like, lol, let's put Batman through some crap. And he doesn't. And-
No, he's like, Batman's cool.
Yeah.
Batman would be able to handle it.
right. And in fact, later issues will show we're going to see Batman's Outback. And it's like, that's neat.
That's cool. There's no reason to do this if you're not going to see Batman's
No.
Outback.
And in fact,
exactly.
there's another crazy thing about this, which is that there are like 1,000 variant covers for this book.
And they're all great.
They are all great.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Batman the Max.
Yeah. The
But-
art is really cool in this book.
I was very confused when the Penguin showed up, and they're like, "Well, let's plug him in." And we cut to the Outback, and it's like a deadly air pufferfish.
Yeah,
I'm
is
like,
that Penguin?
That's not the Penguin.
No, it's just
no.
the Outback is laden with threats.
Yeah. And the Penguin thing is like not tied to
And it's
anything
part of
yet.
it. I guess.
Yeah. We'll find out. Do you
Next
find
to-
out what
No.
the Penguin? No. Things happen for no reason in this book.
Yes, like a dream.
Like a dream.
Yeah, like a fever dream.
It is
Yeah.
like reading a fever dream. But you also know what you're signing up for because you're reading Batman the Max.
Right.
I'm gonna do Batman the Spirit by Jeff Loeb and Darwin Cook. Yeah, exactly.
A
Yeah.
ringer, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for giving me this one.
No problem.
This book starts off at the Kipling Club, where we see that Jim Gordon and Dolan, like not Donovan,
No.
Dolan,
Commissioner Dolan.
Commissioner Dolan from the Spirit Universe, which I am barely like familiar with, other than
Fair.
that.
That
That movie, which
Yeah.
we will not refer to anymore,
That's it. We got it out.
they made a movie.
Ignore all of that. Are meeting up, and they're basically like they're old friends.
Yes.
Asking how
In this universe.
Yeah, in this universe, they're old friends. How is Barbara doing? There are stories that people know, and there are some stories that are kept secrets. And this is one of those kind of stories. And then they're like, "Do you ever tell anybody?" And he's like, "No." And it's like, "Tell them about what?" It's about the time that the Spirit met Batman, not the Batman met the Spirit. No.
No, when the Spirit met Batman.
And we get a little flashback to when that happened, and we see the Spirit is at Pier 16, and he's trying to stop Carrion from receiving what we find out to be a whole bunch of passports for like 12 people.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous number of
Carrion
passports.
is a spirit villain who has a vulture sidekick.
He's bird themed, if you couldn't figure it out by his name.
Right.
And the Spirit is being gunned after, essentially, so he makes a run for the top of the sign for Pier 16. I only bring that up because this book and the first few pages have incredible, like, graphic images of the titles of these characters in ways that I'm like, oh, it's just so good. Because the Pier 16 sign starts to fall, and so we see the Spirit in this lovely single-page image of him, and just certain letters from Pier 16 are behind him, and it spells out Spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God,
Oh, you hooked me.
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah. Darwin Cook was a genius.
So anyway, we see that the Cossack and Carrion are waiting in the car with the mysterious, shadowy figure. Who,
Cossack is another spirit villain.
I
Russian themed.
Look,
Right.
here's the thing. If there's anyone in this book I don't know, obviously I know
It's from the Spirit.
universe.
Spirit, yeah.
Okay, I'm like, oh, you're from the Spirit. You must be a spirit villain. Cool, whatever. There's a shadowy figure who we'll later find out is the octopus.
Oh!
Batman in this universe, he's riding along with Robin. Joker is in a plane trying to take off. Batman attaches himself to said plane, and also the car is also attached to said plane as the plane's taking off. And he's like, I'm coming for you, Joker! Gets into the plane. He's greeted by a stewardess who's in the shadows. He's like, oh, thank God you're here, Batman. And naturally, it's Harley Quinn with a gun that has clearly a cork in it.
Yeah.
She shoots him right the hell out of the plane. And Robin's like, oh crap. They land on the car. He's like, release the cable. We're going to fall. And Robin's like, yeah, I'm going to do that. But like, I feel like I need a little more explanation if I'm going to die today. Batman's like, no time, chum. So they plummet seemingly to their death. Harley's like, you're great, Mr. J. We took care of Batman. And then it's revealed that in the like main cargo area of this plane, there's like Batman's rogues gallery is hanging out. Most of the people you know from the animated series are there. It's Ventriloquist and Riddler and all these folk, right?
Yep.
They're all hanging out. Harley's serving drinks. They're off.
Yeah.
They're off on vacation.
They made it.
They made it.
Yeah. They're leaving Gotham at last. Batman's trying to stop them. I'm like, just let them go, Batman. Let them go.
Who knew that all of these villains like to vacation together?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine. Just let them go.
Well, they'll stay together when they're locked up, so why
Yeah,
not?
yeah, they're
all
used to
friends.
it.
Yeah, they
It's
know.
a team-building event.
That's right.
So then we get like this cool, like, you know, action sequence of Batman and Robin walking away from the flaming wreckage of the Batmobile. They don't
Yeah.
look back.
No.
No.
Because they're too cool.
Yeah.
Nor do they explain how they survived. Doesn't matter.
Because Batman.
Yeah, he said
End
cut the line.
of story.
Yep.
We cut to Dolan, who we were introduced earlier, and Dolan is with his daughter Ellen and the Spirit, and they're headed for the airport. Dolan is going to a policeman's retreat in Hawaii, where he's going to be honored as being a great police guy.
Yep.
That's all you need to know. Oh, he's going to Hawaii. Gee, I wonder where the villains are going.
Yeah. I don't know.
But anyway, he heads... Yeah.
About that, do you need a passport to go to Hawaii?
No.
In
Oh,
the-
you're trying to
in-
tie it to the passport thing earlier?
In the era that this
Oh,
book
maybe.
takes place, probably.
In the world this takes place
Hawaii
in.
wasn't a state during the
Yeah.
year that this book takes
yeah,
place.
that's a good point.
Oh, Dolan heads into the airport where he ends up running into a young lady. He's not paying attention to where he's going. He knocks her bag out of her hand. He helps to pick her up, and she rewards him with a kiss. And immediately we know it's Poison Ivy because she's wearing green and her stockings have ivy all over them.
Well, and she's a redhead who looks like Poison
Yeah,
Redhead,
but she
yeah.
introduces herself as Pamela Isley and says, you can call me Ivy. And immediately he's infatuated with her because, you know,
She's used
Because she's hot.
No, because she used her lipstick.
she probably didn't need
And
to use
she's
the
hot.
lipstick, but
Yeah,
yeah,
honestly,
she did it anyway.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. Hey.
If I knocked a bag out of someone's hand and they were attractive and they rewarded me with a kiss afterwards, I'm sorry, you don't need, like,
Mind control!
I feel like that shows her commitment to her job.
Right.
She's like, no, I don't leave any loose ends.
He also has bubbles coming up over his head, I
Yeah.
guess, to
That's to
indicate
indicate
the
mind
poison.
control.
The mind
Yeah, because it's like, what if
control,
you're a
The
Spirit
toxin.
fan and you don't know anything about Poison Ivy?
Right. How
What
is
if-
why is he
Yeah,
following
what if
this
the
temptress?
legions of Spirit fans are like, wait a minute, who's this?
This story is told very much like, let's see this side, let's see that side, until, of course, they inevitably cross over.
Yep.
Jim Gordon's in the same situation. He has an invitation to the Policemen's Benevolent Association Annual Law Enforcement Convention.
Yeah, they refer to that 1,000 times. It's the longest name for a policeman's retreat I've ever seen.
It's the
Yeah.
PBAALEC.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure if you
He's gonna
mixed them up, they said something.
Right. So he's going because he is going to be introducing his longtime friend, Commissioner Dolan,
Yep.
for being awarded for this. So he's like, yeah, how great. I'm going to go this time because of that. Also because he's met a lady.
Yes, and he's looking forward to taking her on a vacation.
Yeah, she convinced him to go. And, like, Babs is like, all right, cool, I'm looking forward to meeting her. Doesn't have any idea what this woman's all about. She was going to take her dad to the airport. That's not happening. Said this woman wants to meet them and meet her at the house, right? So she shows up, calls him Jim Darling. She's immediately like, darling, that's my dad. Back off. When she gets a hold of this woman, they're like the same age. Like,
Yeah.
Barbara and this woman are
They're
essentially...
like, oh, my dad's gross.
I assume it's like a Zsa Zsa Gabor kind of reference, which
Right?
is like, oh, Jim, darling.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but like Barbara's really hooked up or hung up on the fact that like this woman's so young for her dad. She's like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
immediately it's like something's wrong.
Right.
Something is wrong.
Spirit fans, it's Pagel,
Yeah.
and she's
P''Gel.
Yes, she's French. She's a femme fatale. She's a Black Widow. She
There's, like,
marries men, older men,
Literally the
and kills them.
first time we see her, there's no way you don't know she's a femme fatale.
Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah.
If ever you need to introduce a femme fatale, the person you should have called
Yeah.
was Darwin Cook, because he knows how to draw them and present
Jim
them.
Gordon is either
There's
clueless.
There is no mind control.
No.
Jim Gordon's just like, yeah, right?
or
Look
B,
at
That
me.
makes sense.
he's like, I don't care. I'll take it anyway.
Yeah,
I don't care
yeah,
if she's gonna kill
yeah.
me. It's fine.
Right. He's like, it's worth it.
I'm going
I'm
out.
gonna go out
on
I'm
a
gonna
high
go out
note.
on- Exactly. Be
Damn
a happy
right.
man when I do.
Yeah. Barbara, let your father have this.
Tip off.
Because she is.
Stay
She's,
home.
yeah, because she is like, oh,
Oh, this is not good, Dad.
you're very young.
Yeah. It's just, Simultaneously, Batman and the Spirit realize that all the villains are headed to Hawaii, where all the cops are. So we get them both there. Everybody heads over to there. We get to see the Joker and Harley enjoying Hawaii. In this instance, the Joker has like flesh tone. It's the clear. It's the
Yeah, he
makeup.
took the makeup off.
Yeah.
Or it's like
Or
Batman
he
89
put
and
the
he's
makeup
wearing
on.
makeup.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I doubt it.
He is carrying a bag full of fish that are grinning, which I like as like sort of a nod to
Yep.
the Joker fish or whatever.
Yep.
And we see in the lobby of this hotel, literally all the cops are staying in the same place as all the villains, and somehow nobody notices what's
Well,
happening.
They're all incognitus.
Yeah.
There's literally no way you don't know.
Who Killer Croc is.
It's a skin condition.
It's just,
Like you not to stare.
like literally the Penguin is hanging out at the bar talking to a bird. I'm like, you cops suck.
Yeah.
You all suck.
Hey, I am on vacation.
That's right.
I don't care.
Yeah.
This is
No, I know they're here.
Yeah, exactly. I recognize them.
I am off duty,
I'm being
and
honored.
I'm the sauce.
What's funny though is that like all the cops are like doing like their activities that are playing out.
Well, they
This
rented
isn't
two different ballrooms.
Yeah, this is an actual thing that's going on for the cops.
Yeah.
This is not set up by the villains. The cops are going there, and I guess they somehow orchestrated the
or Octopus organized
guess
the
did,
thing
yeah.
for the
Octopus,
policeman. I assumed
yeah.
that.
But the
Octopus
policeman's
did it.
thing has gone on because Batman says, "Oh, you're actually going to go this
Right.
time."
Yeah, because they do have it every
real
year,
event,
yeah.
Yeah,
but it
but
could
then-
have been manipulated
Yeah, the
behind the
PBA is a
scenes.
To
fit.
take place in Hawaii,
Right.
perhaps.
Yeah.
But then we see that the villains themselves have the other ballroom, like right next door, where they're having like a little meet and greet where it's just like Octopus is like, hey, cool, thanks everybody for coming. Let's give a shout out to everybody for arriving, to Joker and Harley for making sure that things go off without a hitch. That's fantastic. Thanks, everybody. And then we see that there is going to be a masquerade ball, essentially, and
For the cops.
for the cops, they're gonna have like this little
Every day is a masquerade ball for the villains.
That's who they really are. It's like when they're in the lobby, that's the masquerade ball.
Right. Yeah.
So we get
Deep.
a couple of little nods here to like various DC characters, Canary and Green Arrow, Superman.
Yep.
People are dressed up as the Penguin and the Riddler, but they're cops.
See, I thought the
kinda
Penguin and the
perverse.
Riddler.
Oh, that's right. No,
reversed.
they are. They are reversed.
Yeah. Penguin is Riddler and Riddler is Penguin.
But that, which is stupid because then right next to them is the no offense to the ventriloquist is there and he's dressed up as a cowboy and an Indian. I'm like, I get it, but like if you're gonna do the reverse villain thing, you
Yeah.
should have kept it going. They
Yeah.
should have been the Penguin and the Riddler.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Together.
So Dolan's there with Ivy. They're dressed up as Sherlock Holmes and Watson. Gordon and Peggle or Pagel.
Pagel.
Are there Pagel?
Yeah.
Pickle.
I think it's Pagel.
Pagel? Peg.
I say Pajal.
Pajol.
Pagel.
Yeah, just call her Peggy.
Peggy, yeah.
Pegs is there, and
Peg's got legs.
they run into one another. It's very obvious that the two friends are excited to see each other, but they're more excited that they're with ladies.
I love that these two
Hey!
old men are like, hey, you're robbing the cradle too! High five!
Oh, not too hard. I want to break my wrist.
That's a weird coincidence that
Yeah.
we both got women half our age right
No,
now.
it's not. We're both total studs.
Yeah.
That's right, we are.
Damn right. See you later.
I will not think about this anymore.
See you later,
Nothing
but not
convenient
too much
about
later.
this.
I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, because we have to have dinner. It's almost 5:30.
5:30. Oh, I gotta get ready for bed. I thought dinner was at 3.
So Jim runs off with Pagel.
Pagel.
And they're gonna dance, and Batman cuts in, and
Yeah.
like Jim's like, "Oh, cool, like
Somebody's dressed like Batman.
Batman, whatever, like nice, like
He couldn't
John
possibly
Stewart
have followed
costume."
me here.
Heck.
He wouldn't do that.
He immediately thinks it's like a crappy costume. I'm like, what?
Batman's like,
He's like, is it just because you're seeing it in the light for like the first time ever?
yeah.
Like,
You're seeing it under fluorescent bulbs.
he's just like, oh, that
Nice
that
even
is.
TV
It's because
lighting.
Jim has had a couple drinks on him and he's finally like speaking his mind.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
you look like a friggin' idiot, Batman.
Yeah,
Why don't you get some tail for once, you douche?
Such a jerk.
Batman's like immediately just cuts to the chase. Like
He's like, okay, so what are you doing doing with my friend?
no, he knows. He's like, I read your dossier. I know everything about it. Jim Gordon is off limits.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's awesome.
I love that.
But little Jim is not.
But I'm not. Would you
Yeah.
like to come to the coach check?
yeah. The cape check.
The cape check. Ivy making out with Dolan to
Reinforce
the fact that she's constantly dosing him, essentially.
Yeah.
Again, Batman's not noticing the dummy dressed up like a cowboy, doesn't notice the obvious redheaded hot woman.
I know.
Like, he's just like, nope.
He's really focused on Pagel. And who wouldn't be?
Doesn't
Look, I
notice-
don't care if you're Doink Dolan, but no one screws Jim.
Yeah, but me.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Oh, no. Alfred,
Get me out of here.
get the couch. I need to talk. So,
So the spirit shows up dressed like the spirit.
because he's like, yeah, it's a masquerade ball.
I don't care. Nobody knows who I am. Except, I guess, your rogues gallery.
Who are all there.
Oh, crap!
Well, like, Batman and both the Spirit are there, so, like, obviously the villains are just like, well, it's a masquerade ball.
Right.
Yeah. Except
any case.
they know. Catwoman shows up, dressed exactly like Catwoman.
Yeah.
Batman just doesn't, just
It's
laser
fun and
sight.
convenient.
Yeah, so she, like, wanders off with the spirit, and essentially, like, she tells him that she's working undercover with the FBI. And he's like, oh, really? As she takes off her mask and, like, blinks her, like, baby blues in his face, and
Yep.
he's like, uh-huh,
Yeah.
yes, you are.
And on the flip,
On the flip,
Pagel's doing the same
yeah,
thing.
I'm like, every time I say it, you correct me. She does the same thing. She's like, no, you don't get it. I'm working as an FBI agent.
yeah.
And he's like,
Right
really? All right.
He's like, yeah, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I totally believe you.
so she's like, maybe we'll meet up later on. And she gives them a note that says where. He says, midnight, cool, whatever. The spirit's going to meet
Selena.
Catwoman there, also at midnight.
It's gonna be a foursome.
Ooh, baby. It's going to be the Mad Hatter and a Killer Croc.
Oh, we got
Oh,
catfished
they-
again.
Croc's like, ooh, catfish.
No. And then we basically see that the villains are all working together flawlessly.
Yes.
Like, they got all these things going on. The
Yeah.
ladies are taking care of
The
Batman
heroes.
and the Spirit. The other villains are taking care of the various security at the hotel as they install the bombs. They also are taking care of this boat.
Yeah.
It's a yacht.
Oh, that's the yacht they're going to escape on later.
Yeah.
So they're setting up their getaway yacht.
Yeah.
By the way, the octopus is the one who's orchestrating all of this.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah, he's in charge.
He's working on it all.
He's
That's right.
fantastic.
Yeah.
He is. He really pulled them together.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The villains in the Batman universe don't have like a mastermind.
No, exactly. He is an excellent manager. The spirit shows up. Immediately, he's like, Selena.
Yeah.
where
Yeah,
are you?"
because Batman is like,
fallen
no.
for immediately.
That,
Yeah.
that is the spirit's kryptonite.
Yeah.
Is
It's
is
the ladies.
dames.
So it's no problem. So like they're
I
like,
thought he had
okay.
a dame.
Yeah, he's got one too.
But like,
Yeah,
he
but she's
can have
not here
more.
right now.
Yeah.
That's the spirit.
Listen,
Well, I'm on vacation.
this is a
Hey, he's not
cat-themed
married.
dame. I want one of those too.
Yeah.
Basically, the question on everyone's mind is Batman going to show? And Pagel's like, trust me, I've never met a man who doesn't show up. To be fair, Batman does show up.
Right.
He does
But
show
in
up.
the way that he shows up, where he's like, yeah, but it's a trap.
Yeah. No,
Because I'm Batman.
he just
Yeah.
grabs spirit.
Right? It's just like, Batman's like, no one ever actually wants to bang me.
Yeah.
Quit thinking with your dick.
Yeah. Damn it, spirit. What's your problem, man?
Right, so he grabs the spirit, pulls him into, like, this, like, nearby building.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. And, the
It's a
spirit...
conveniently destroyable structure.
Right, the spirit immediately, like, attacks Batman. Is like, back off, man, I'm gonna get laid!
Yeah.
This
Quit
is
talking
the
about me,
best
spirit.
superhero fight.
Yeah.
Where
Because
there's
I
like-
actually understand the
And it's like,
motivation.
shut up! What are you doing?
You're gonna get us killed. I'm trying to get myself laid, man.
Yeah, so
Oh,
what are you doing?
It's a. First of all, that's mine. Secondly, she's just like a cat.
The spirit, like, immediately lights a cigarette lighter to see what's going on. They open fire on the building, the bad guys, that is.
Yep.
Including, of course, Ventriloquist. He's there.
Yeah.
He opens fire. The building explodes.
Yes.
And they're like, hooray, we got them! They're, like, laid out on the, like, sidewalk, dock area, wherever it is. Mm-hmm. And they're like, wow,
That was easy.
well, that was effective. Okay.
Oh, when we work as a team.
Yeah.
Right?
But, like, there's the question of, are they really dead? So the ventriloquist opens fires into their bodies.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, but seriously, how is
wait,
Batman
what?
gonna get out
What?
of this one?
Yeah, just blam,
They
blam, blam.
literally all throw their hats
Oh,
in the air
Yeah,
in
and masks,
celebration.
and they're like, yay, we've done it! High fives, everyone!
Let's
What
leave
does
them
Killer
here,
Croc throw in the air?
right?
Nothing.
His fist, I
his-
guess.
Yeah, he just goes, yeah. He's looking for a high five. No one gives it to him. They leave
No.
him hanging. So then Ventriloquist sends Killer Croc and Cossack to go get some rocks and some bags. They're going to throw their bodies in the water, and that's that. So everybody kind of disperses. And then Ventriloquist takes off his glasses, throws the dummy away, and is like, that was pretty close, Batman. What the heck?
Yeah.
Remember Robin, everybody? Robin came along too and dressed up like the ventriloquist, snuck himself in there, and filled most of
everyone's guns
with blanks. And Spirit's like, most? He's like, well, I knew Batman wasn't going to get shot. I mean, like, it's Batman.
Yeah.
He wears a little bit of armor.
You're wearing a suit.
You're not wearing. There's no. You're an idiot.
That is dangerous.
Yeah.
Man. You should not do this.
Yeah.
So, like, they're all talking to one another, giving exactly enough time for Cossack and Killer Croc to come back.
Yeah, they're like, okay, we got the raw.
They literally bring everything there. They're like, oh, we're dumb.
Yep.
So,
And they're dispatched off panel.
yeah.
Yeah.
We don't see what happens, but it doesn't matter. It's the day of the, like, big, like, hooray for you, Dolan, like, event.
Yep.
You know, Pagel's come down with a migraine, so when Jim's like, no, come on back to bed, baby, she's like, I'm good.
I love this.
Our adventure's
No, this is
coming to an end.
afterwards.
Back to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
no.
is not come to. This is come back.
I
to bed.
I love
yeah,
this because
Jim's
they're-
ready for round 2.
Yeah.
Or 3.
Yeah, good for Jim.
Right?
By the way.
Yeah.
Miguel's like, oh, I'm sorry. I did not expect this. I
Yeah.
need a refresher.
Wow.
No, you're supposed to be asleep. He's like, I'm
Like,
good.
no.
I've been asleep for the past 20 years.
Here I go.
Oh my god.
Meanwhile, because Dolan is under Ivy's spell, he's just like,
Yeah, he's useless.
He's just like,
She can't even talk to him.
yeah. She's like, go away. He's like, okay. Oh yeah, I'll do that. She's like, no, seriously, go away.
Yeah,
He's
no.
like, oh, okay, I'll leave.
Poor Dolan.
I know that poor guy.
Listen, I'm sure she, no.
Nope.
Pagel put in way more work
Yeah.
than Ivy did in this
She's
whole
a
adventure.
completionist.
So,
Miguel and Ivy are meeting up in the morning. Miguel's just like downing orange juice, and Ivy's like, what happened?
oh, you didn't sleep with him, did you?
What? I thought that was the deal.
No.
Yeah.
Don't you use your pheromones on
Did
him
you do
to
that?
control?
Did you
What?
make a special
No, I'm
lipstick?
just sexy.
Oh, I mean, I'm that too,
Yeah.
but like,
But I got a whole shtick.
oh. So anyway, Batman and Spirit basically like team up. Robin is doing some additional investigating. Batman reveals that he doesn't trust anyone that he works with, and
Yep.
I'm like,
You literally have someone you have trusted your entire life with.
Who you trusted to pretend to shoot you a minute ago.
Yeah, so you trust at least one person.
yeah. But he tells Robin, I don't trust anyone.
Yeah.
Robin's like, oh,
Especially you.
yeah. So it's revealed that they have Killer Croc and Cossack, and they want to get some information out of them since they can't find any additional information anywhere else.
Yep.
And so they basically, the Spirit and Batman put on a little like
Good cop, bad
demonstration
cop.
show where it's like they tie their chairs together. They're in a lighthouse. They take Killer Croc's chair. They throw it out the side of the lighthouse, which plummets him down. Cossack is pulled backwards. They're both gonna die, obviously,
Yep.
unless Cossack reveals what happens. He's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna tell you everything. I'm squealing right now.
Yeah.
I usually deal with the Spirit. Clearly, this whole Batman thing, that's a real problem.
Yeah.
Also, there's like a crocodile monster down at the other end of this tether. I'm out. I'm done. So they find out that everything's going down tonight, and that the plan is obviously that, like, Ivy, who actually fills us in on the plan,
Thankfully.
tells Dolan, here's what you're going to do, baby. You're going to go, and when Gordon, like, introduces you, you're going to go up there, you're going to pull your revolver, and you're going to shoot him in the head. Then you're going to pull out this device, and you're going to blow up the whole thing.
Yeah.
So everything's really riding on Ivy's ability to control Dolan,
Yeah.
which she's sealed the
Which
deal
she's
on
proven.
So far, so good.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
she's like, I'll see you later. Gives him one more kiss for good luck, basically. And then she goes down to the docks where the rest of the villains are boarding the yacht to leave.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They put the plan on autopilot.
Yep.
and they're
Yeah,
just
it's
gonna
all
go
It's
with
like,
it.
taken
now it's set.
So smart.
Right.
These guys are doing great.
Right. So Batman, like, launches the bat boat out of the water, beaches it on the sand. Spirit's like, good lord. So we see the banquet going on. I love that somebody's holding the invitation up so we can see what's happening.
Where we are.
Oh, we're at the banquet. Oh, right, of course. Gordon introduces Dolan. He comes out on stage. He's like sweating. He has his revolver, and Jim's like, haha, funny, you're doing a little bit.
It's a
And
weird
it's
bit.
cool because
doing,
like
man?
he's kind of fighting against the instincts that
Yeah,
Ivy
he's
is controlling
sweating.
him, but he's still falling in line with the plan.
Exactly. Batman and the Spirit get there slightly too late. Dolan fires. But what comes out of the gun is a little bang flag.
Uh-oh. Gun got swapped.
Yeah, gun got swapped. Exactly. And then...
What?
And the villains are watching it through like a
telescope? They're all sharing a telescope. They had to put quarters into it.
Yeah.
So then Batman's like, okay, crap. I guess we should stop the explosion from happening. Quick, let's get in there. And so, like, Dolan pulls out the explosive device. He, like, has Jim push the button. He does. Batman's like, no! And there's an explosion, but it's confetti.
Again!
That's his thing when he does crossovers.
And then Commissioner Gordon grabs his own face and pulls it off and reveals it's the Joker.
He takes his face.
Oh. And then Harley rolls in a little cart that has Robin with a bag over his head and Octopus with a bag over his
Joker's
head.
like, no, I don't work for anybody.
He's like, yeah, here's the thing. Like, no. Octopus isn't getting the credit for what I could do.
Yeah.
So I ruined his plan, and now I'm going to do it. He says, like, oh, the main course is served its flambe, and Batman laughs. He's like, and the Joker's like, whoa.
What are you doing, Batman?
No, the joke is that Batman doesn't laugh. What is this? And he keeps laughing, and then he opens his cloak and reveals it's the spirit suit underneath it.
Yep.
And he's like, okay, wait a minute. If you're not Batman, where the hell is Batman? Because I have a feeling I'm going to get kicked in the back of the head. No, instead Batman uses a batarang and like throws it at Joker, knocking his Tommy gun out of the way.
Batman's wearing the Spirit's mask, but his Batman outfit.
Yeah, so he's got
So
his...
you can't tell it's him.
They pulled a switcheroo.
Yeah.
Oh, the old switcheroo.
Yeah. Batman is fired upon by Harley. He uses a tray to deflect it, which knocks her out immediately. And then Joker's like, well, exit stage me. And he leaves.
Oh, that's it.
Well, the jig's up. Come on.
All of the villains are just looking from the yacht out there. And it's amazing because they're all just like slightly agape.
Yeah.
Their mouths agape. And Penguin just goes, oi. like this could have actually worked.
Yep.
Damn it.
Damn it, Joker.
You had to follow the script.
Why did we
one
invite
time.
Joker?
As the Joker is fleeing, the Spirit punches him in the gut and he's knocked down.
Yep.
And
It is a fantastic punch, by the way.
Yeah.
yeah, everyone's arrested, not by any of the cops in attendance. Other cops arrive and
Yep.
they arrest
Hawaiian cops.
everyone involved. The Spirit's like,
They're off
yay!
duty."
We caught the octopus. This is awesome. He pulls the bag off. It's Commissioner Gordon.
Octopus
Obviously.
gets away
See the
again.
octopus.
Nope,
Yep,
not this
exactly.
time.
That's the thing, right? You never see him.
That's right. He's like Dr. Claw.
Right. And
For our younger audience.
Batman's like, you'll get him someday. And we see that the story's kind of wrapping up. Dolan and Gordon are talking to one another, and they're
the beginning
like,
of the story.
They're like, unfortunately, we never did. And like Gordon's like, well, maybe you will. And they also talk about the fact that it's like, but how do they ever get all those rogues back?
Yeah,
it
because
was
they
like-
were on a yacht, and
Yeah.
the heroes were with us. What happened?
And it's like, did Batman ever explain that? And Gordon's like, never, but they all ended up back in Arkham Asylum. And what we see, who had actually caught them was Superman. Superman showed up, lifted the yacht up, and brought it back to Arkham.
Yep.
And like Spirit's like, well, there's something you don't see every day. And he's like, you do if you live in Metropolis.
Don't inflate his ego anymore.
yeah,
all right?
please, he can hear you.
Yeah. And like we established earlier on that the Spirit doesn't believe in Batman. He's like, oh, that's just a myth.
I like that idea. He says the GCPD is just Gotham is so terrible they made up Batman
Yeah.
to
To, like,
scare
scare
criminals.
people,
Exactly.
But you're a dead guy that
Right.
came back and
Yeah.
helps the police.
Also, I'm right here though.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
real. I'm
dressed
the
as a
only
bat.
one.
Right, but like, so he assumes that it is probably part of that ploy or
Yeah,
whatever, and like, so
yeah.
at the end, he's like, "Do you really believe me? Or do you expect me to believe there's a Batman?" And he's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm Batman," and he leaves. I'm
Yeah.
like, "Okay."
Yeah. You just met Superman, you dick.
Well, he didn't meet him; he saw him.
So-
Well, you can see
There's
it.
Superman's
literally-
real.
There's
He's
no
real.
way Batman introduced the Spirit to Superman.
Not at all.
You got to wave to him.
Yeah, because the
You're
last
welcome.
thing that Batman wants is for Clark and the Spirit to be friends.
He's my friend.
Yeah.
And that's my girl.
And also not my friend. I hate him.
Yeah. And that's my commissioner.
Yeah, quit taping off my stuff. But Batman and the Spirit. So there you have it. What's so which one's the good, which one's the bad, and which one's the ugly? I mean, like for me, it really is a neck and neck for the good. I think the Spirit edges it out the most, but I was shocked by how good Batman Danger Girl was. Just legitimately.
Yeah.
It was better than it had any
Floored.
right to be
Yeah.
in terms of crossovers.
Well, it's still interesting because like you have a really good tete-a-tete with Donovan and the Joker. It's
Yeah,
not
they're fun.
Batman and the Danger Girl that's interesting in this book.
I find that
It's the
interesting
villains.
too. I like that. Because it plays with convention, and Batman's kind of like taken down a peg, but also isn't like reduced to being a tool. You're not diminishing the hero to make your like lesser known heroes more interesting. Everyone looks cool.
But I preferred the villains in this book. However, this book... I'm sorry, no, I preferred the villains compared to Batman and Danger Girl in this book.
Oh, I was like, you
No.
prefer the villains in that book
Yeah.
to this book?
No, Batman and the Spirit knocked it out of the freaking park.
Yeah, and like while the art in that is exceptional, like
Yeah,
it's
it
is good.
great.
It's very
Yeah,
good.
Lineal's good.
Obviously,
good job.
I have a like I'm more. I
It's
prefer
Cook.
the Cook art.
Yeah.
Well, this is like the Spirits universe. This is Gotham,
Well,
and this is the Maxx.
Yeah, they're all
universe.
kind of take place in their own universe. Although, I mean, if we've just did Justice League New Frontier, and
Yeah.
so it's like
Yeah,
So-
it's
a good blend.
It works well with the Spirit because it's a Batman universe.
Yes.
It's like you said, it's like, 66.
yeah, or the 30s or
Yeah.
whatever.
Or that.
No,
or
I mean
the
like
cartoon.
when he shows up,
Right,
because
it feels-
it's
yeah.
very Batman 66.
Yeah, and it's,
without being too like haha jokey.
And it works with the cartoon as well. You got Harley Quinn. It's a cartoon of Harley Quinn, and,
Yep.
and that's also set in like the whatever.
Yeah,
like,
whatever
it's not
nebulous
real time,
era
but it's
that
like
is, yeah.
old timey.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
it all works like very well.
It's also
the
a
aesthetic.
tighter story. Like
Yeah.
it
Yes.
makes sense from like beginning to end as to how things happen.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff in Batman Danger Girl, I feel like you got to make a jump.
Yes.
You have to make a leap. You need to fill in a couple
Yes,
of
it's
too many things.
it's very much like a James Bond movie where it's like we go here and then we go here and
Yeah.
then we go here.
And how do we
there's
get there?
There's
Who
a line or
cares?
two to kind of like and they figured it out. And
Right.
they got
Yeah.
there. It doesn't matter. The point is like it's hopping around and it's kinetic.
We're having fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
who
fun.
cares?
The other good
Yeah.
things about those books is that they're complete stories, and right now, Batman and Maxx
Well,
is not.
That's true. This
but
is a
even
mini.
if it was,
it
it would have been so freaking long.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know. I really dug the art in this book. I never read the Maxx, so
Right.
I don't really have a point of comparison. I just thought it was really interesting. I especially
It is
like
very
the way
interesting.
Batman's drawn.
And that's
I
consistent, by the way, with Keith's
Don't.
depiction of Batman.
I like
Really?
some of the panels, but like because Keith has such an inconsistent style,
Mm-hmm.
it like drives me a little batty.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Seriously? We're going to do that now? That's what kind of
Is
show
that what
this is?
we're doing puns. It's very consistent. I chalk that up to like intentional, but it might not be entirely
No, I
intentional.
think it's just the illustrative like nature of his style.
Yes.
Yeah.
That like his panel work isn't always as tight, which is why his covers are so spectacular because he doesn't have to worry about like matching
Trying to
things
match it up, yeah.
Also, I hate Batman's like bat symbol on his.
I hate the
costume.
bat symbol.
Like, I'm like, get out of here.
You know what's
the
funny? He's been
alternate?
doing that since the 90s.
no, get out of that.
When he used to do the
Yeah.
variant
Yeah.
covers for Nightfall and stuff. Like, I remember that was the bat symbol.
It's like parentheses.
Yeah, it's very...
Yeah, I'm not,
yeah.
not sure what it is.
It's a heartbeat.
It looks like a weird like symbol.
Yeah.
It's like what is
I
that?
just- I don't know.
Well, it's just, he's like,
heartbeat,
you've
I can
seen
see
it.
that.
You've seen
Yeah,
it 1,000
just like
times.
the blip.
Here's something new.
Here's
Here's
the
something
thing.
from me.
There
Yeah.
are some panels in there I'm like, that's great. Like, I love that panel and how it drops in of just Batman's head.
Yep.
I'm like, that's amazing.
He likes to play with, like, panel shape.
but
and
it's not
everything, too.
consistent enough for me to be like on board.
No, there's enough, like...
And
there's-
then I saw this and it's like
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I appreciate that they even made a Batman the Max,
But Tiffany,
but it's got to go to ugly.
yeah, no, I know, but like I'm just saying, like
Ladies.
literally
Yeah.
they called it. It wasn't like it was Spirit Glue or Spirit whatever. It's Pier 16.
Yeah, he
they,
came up with a word.
they knew that
yeah.
that would have the right letters. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
just so clever.
Yeah.
Screw you for
I mean,
being so
it's
clever.
classic Loeb and it's Darwin Cook. So I mean, it's just
Yeah.
it's yeah.
so that's
Stone
the
thing.
good.
Yeah.
I would say that's definitely the good. For me, it's more a question like between these two
Of which one's the
Right,
bad.
well, here's the
which
thing.
one's
I would have
Yeah.
enjoyed reading this all on its own, and I know that we've
Right.
already established
Yeah.
that this is the good. But like this book, I would have picked up and been excited about, and like, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there more?
Right. At the end of the day,
No.
I don't need to make excuses for Danger Girl.
That's
like
true.
I dug it.
Yeah.
With Batman Max, I'm like, I get it,
Batman
but
Max I was the least excited to read the Batman Max on one. I wasn't.
I was
super,
the most excited, and then I was like, oh.
and I also wasn't super excited for Batman Danger Girl, but like after the first few pages of it, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And because I saw the Spirit movie, I was the least excited for that one.
Yeah.
Oh no! Once I
It
saw,
totally flipped the script for me.
what's funny is I completely forgot about the movie, and like all
there
that
you
mattered
go.
was I was like, oh, it's Darwin Cook.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm above and beyond in.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd forgotten I'd seen the movie too until at some point, partway through, there's his tie is accentuated. I'm like, oh yeah, the tie thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally until we started talking about the book here, I was like, oh yeah.
there's that movie.
That movie.
Yeah, like this had me from like page 1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
No, I agree.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
that's-
that is a complete book. It succeeds in every way.
Yep.
These books to me succeed like a little bit
In
here
their-
and there.
yeah.
This book was pleasantly surprising.
That's it.
Danger Girl, I was like, I
Yep.
had no expectations for it, especially after the first couple pages. I'm like, this is goofy, and I was like, oh no, okay, I get it. Like
Right.
it's actually
There's
kind
an
of
actual
smart.
story.
Yeah, there's an actual story. There's some fun jokes. It feels a little bit rushed, but like yeah, because they got to get a lot of stuff in.
'Cause they're not gonna do it in
Crossovers
issue
are always
2.
like that. Yeah. This book was incomprehensible. The Maxx.
and I mean,
but,
there is some of it is by
but
design.
it's supposed to do the whole dream
Implicitly,
thing.
yeah.
I didn't know it was a dream within a dream. That
Right.
actually makes a lot more sense.
Yes, but well, you're supposed to feel like lost.
It's like
Yes.
Malice.
and because
I
it's
do.
made, yeah, and because you know that Keith isn't a hack. You know,
Yeah.
it's like you don't have to take it for granted. You know,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, this is weird. I feel weird. Should I? And yes, the answer is yes.
Yes.
But
No, it's honestly this was a very pleasant GBU.
Yeah.
most
None of these
part.
books
Oh,
were
yeah.
straight up horrible.
No.
no, they all deliver on the premises.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
you.
just, the premise for one is, not that great.
Well, it's just the premise is fine. It's just kind of like, well, A, who asked for it? B, what? Certainly, but voting for it as the ugly is only because we have 3 criteria. I would
Yep.
just say like, I'm glad it exists. I'm like happy that that there's enough sales to say, hey, let's make another one. Like, let's do more Max.
there were a
it's-
couple jokes.
That worked. Yeah.
A couple jokes.
Batman's personality, I like.
I
in
like
this
Batman's
issue.
personality too. It's the problem is it doesn't deliver on the premise.
Same,
You know,
yeah.
it's like, oh, that's really cool. Oh, no, not really.
No.
It's what is it?
Right,
I'm
and-
not really sure what the point is.
And I think it could have gotten away with
And
you.
maybe that's because it's issue 1, but
It is issue 1, but like there are technically going to be 4 issues this series. You really could have gotten away with 1 double-sized issue. It could have been as long as this, and it would have
been done.
It would have been done, and I think it would have been better.
Waiting for anything.
Yeah. Yeah, and it would have
Do
been
you
stretched
think
out for
they're
no
waiting
reason.
for number 4 because he doesn't know how to end it and he's trying to figure it out?
I
Like he didn't have a whole plan.
My original thought was it might be that, but I'm thinking now that it might actually be because sales were so bad.
Oh, it could be. I mean, it could also
I don't know,
be
though.
that like he doesn't, since he is someone who is so like hard on his own work that like
Yeah.
he's
He's
like
just not
no,
good enough.
no
Make it
ending
perfect.
is the right ending.
Yeah.
He's just like
Like he
nothing's
had an
gonna be
idea and then
satisfying.
he's like, no, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Now
Everything
I
I
gotta
do
I'd
is
rather
stupid.
nothing came out.
Damn it.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
But he's also unreachable, so it's
He should
impossible to ask him.
he should do like a choose your own adventure ending. That way, it's not
that's
his
a
fault at all.
What a gimmick.
That's what he's been doing this whole time, is just writing multiple
done that?
endings.
Yeah.
In
Multiple
comics?
ending comics?
Like where it's like choose your own adventure.
They must
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, they've done that. They're not great.
But like,
We should do one for GBU.
who
at
wouldn't
some
just
Yeah.
read all of them?
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
you
that's what you
would.
always
You do
do.
read them
You
all.
don't do that. You just keep your finger in the page.
Yeah.
That way you
Like
didn't
with the
actually-
book.
Let me see. Oh no, I didn't check that one.
No, no, no,
No,
no, no.
I went back and I chose B.
Yeah. I really wanted to choose B. I just
Yeah.
wanted to see what happened with A.
If I was writing
Liar!
Liars, like B would be like I know you went back. Yeah,
but,
no, this is the good.
Yeah,
And
but,
this is
we have
the bad.
universal
and,
consensus.
not that
and it's
bad.
not really that bad. And this isn't even really that ugly. It's just
yeah.
based on the criteria.
comparatively
But
speaking.
yeah, but I want to thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time with an all new episode. We want to thank everyone here for joining us in this episode.
Yay!
And
Yay!
yes,
Yourselves a
please
round of applause.
give yourself a round of applause for standing during
Standing
this
here
nonsense.
and listening
Yeah.
to us.
Yeah, but
talk.
we'll see you guys next time here on Comic Pop for more. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Tiffany.
Don't forget to go to Zap Comics in Wayne, New Jersey if you want to check out all kinds of great stuff.
Like all the stuff behind us.
Yeah.
And the stuff in front of us.
And the
that
stuff
you
in front.
can't see.
There's a whole store. Check it
It's
out.
like way more over there. Like that.
Ooh, I really like that.
Yeah.